Sean "Diddy" Combs is facing another legal challenge as he continues his fight against detention. Recently, an appeals court panel denied his request for release, marking the third time his appeal has been rejected. Diddy's legal team argued that the detention was unjust, but the court remains firm in its decision. This ongoing legal battle is drawing widespread attention as the music mogul tries to secure his freedom while facing serious charges. The case is far from over, with more legal moves expected soon. Celebrity photographer Selma Fonseca reveals shocking details from attending 20 to 30 of Diddy's extravagant parties, including wild moments involving excessive alcohol. Known for his lavish gatherings, Diddy's infamous white parties hosted A-list celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, and Mariah Carey. Fonseca, who broke the news of Diddy's romance with J-Lo in 1999, described the events as mini-circuses where you could have whatever you wanted. She also issued a warning to children present, shedding light on the concerning atmosphere.
It looks like 50 Cent's Diddy documentary is moving forward. 50 Cent sets Diddy abuse allegations docuseries at Netflix. It's a complex narrative spanning decades. Netflix is producing a docuseries from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson about charges of trafficking and racketeering, as well as SA and violent abuse allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Alexandria Stapleton directs the project, which is currently in production. This is a story with significant human impact. It is a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. 50 Cent and Stapleton said in an exclusive statement to Variety, "We remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember that Sean Combs' story is not the full story of hip-hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions." Do y'all think 50 Cent is doing this because he genuinely cares about the victims? Or do y'all think he's just doing this because, he's had this ongoing feud with Diddy? Like, is he just being messy? I haven't seen too many people bring this up, but I very clearly remember last year it was 50 Cent's ex who went on Instagram and said that he abused her and R-worded her. Nobody brought it up, but, I remember. I'll be tuned in regardless, but, don't shoot the messenger, but always consider the source.
Alright, let's talk more about Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail and will remain in custody as he faces charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and as trafficking. A federal judge ruled Tuesday. Judge Robin Tarnofsky told him her concern is this is a crime that happens behind closed doors, even when pretrial services is monitoring. Combs was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, as trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The judge told Combs there were no conditions she could find to assure her that he would appear in court if released. Combs' defense attorneys proposed to put him on home detention with a $50 million bond secured by his Miami residence, according to a bail motion earlier today. Combs did not react when the judge made her ruling. He took a sip of water from a bottle at the table before he was let out of the courtroom. Combs' lawyer said his team is going to appeal the decision to hold the hip-hop artist and music mogul without bail. His lawyer said, quote, "He's going to clear his name and we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly." And he reiterated that he believes Combs didn't do these things, and that's why Combs pleaded not guilty to all the charges earlier today. And the lawyer also said the bail appeal will take place in the same courtroom tomorrow on Wednesday in front of a different judge. I honestly can't see any judge that would be willing to release him. So we'll see what happens, like I said in my last video, and I'll keep you guys updated.
I think that the average folk and legal scholars are all just kind of like gobsmacked about he was denied bail.
I wasn't gobsmacked about it. I actually predicted he would not get bail, given the circumstances, given his status. He's an alleged billionaire. What's $50 million?
I want to ask you about your client, Adria, and how much the feds talked to her beforehand, because I know in the lawsuit she names Tamiko Thomas, says she was like a Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, in our scenario, the feds already had their case and had a substantial over 100 witnesses at the time that we filed our case. So the conversation was pretty brief. Looking at the indictment, it seems like it was mainly focused on one victim, Cassie Ventura. I think that in the coming days, like you alluded to before, that there will be additional charges.
Someone said 50 Cent has been making a Diddy documentary for the last 10 years and just sold it to Netflix. 10 years is crazy. How badly do you have to be preying on another person's downfall? How badly must you be preying on the op's downfall that you plotted their downfall 10 years in advance and have been working on a documentary on their downfall 10 years in advance? Like, I knew 50 Cent did not like Diddy, but I didn't know it was this deep. And now that he sold it to Netflix, he's about to make a crazy bag off of the downfall of his ops. That's crazy. Let me know how y'all feel about this.
I'm not a lawyer, but I just read all 35 pages of the lawsuit filed by Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, versus Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And child, let me give you the recap. Let me start off by saying the front page of this lawsuit has a trigger warning on it. So listen, let me say to you, this video could be triggering. You've been warned. Okay, so the beginning of the lawsuit just gives some background. It talks about how the two met in late 2005, early 2006. Cassie was 19 and Diddy was 37. Shortly after, Cassie was signed to Bad Boy. And at the time, Cassie was actually in a relationship with someone else and Diddy was in a relationship with Kim Porter. But then on Cassie's 21st birthday, Diddy allegedly pulled her into the bathroom and forcibly kissed her. Cassie cried, and that was their very first physical encounter. Over time, Diddy continued to pursue her, according to this lawsuit. And then in September of 2007, Diddy allegedly picked Cassie up from her apartment and gave her a pill. The suit says that Cassie didn't know what the pill was, but she took it at his request. She later learned that that pill was ecstasy, allegedly. Then there's a story told from 2007 when Diddy allegedly paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party Cassie was hosting, but not really because it was fake. And it was done to give her a reason to go to Miami and get away from her boyfriend. During that trip, it's alleged that they did a ton of drugs, and that is when they had their very first encounter. By 2008, Diddy had allegedly introduced Cassie to opiates and would often have pills and other drugs out in the open like candy. Quote, upon information and belief, Mr. Combs has been addicted to prescription painkillers and took ecstasy frequently. The suit also alleges that Cassie's medical records were being sent directly to Diddy's email address. For instance, the suit says when Cassie was experiencing some memory loss, I'm not a lawyer, but there is a brand new Diddy lawsuit. And this one, y'all. First of all, let's start with the trigger warning that is listed on the front page of the lawsuit. It says that this document contains highly graphic information of a nature, including SA. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a situation, redacted images of intercourse, redacted images of minors, workers, more workers, details of trafficking, and the illegal distribution of weapons and some other stuff. Now listen, I'm definitely not including anything about any minors, anything that's too graphic. I'm not playing those games. But since I did read the lawsuit, let me attempt to give you a recap of some of what's being alleged. The lawsuit was filed by a man named Rodney Jones, who, according to the suit, is a musical prodigy. He says in August 2022, he received a call from Diddy